So I'm going to run you down the super easy, relaxed, casual dinner that we had. It was so good. I made a chicken breast dinner that used an artichoke spread I had and a lot of vegetables. And I also made a side of mac and cheese balls. So I'm going to take you through step by step just so you can see, just kind of making like a really nice chicken dinner for two. But you could scale this recipe up, and you can find all of the links for these recipes and things featured here pretty much on Sip Bite Go. All right, let's get into the recipe. So I had a bunch of like carrots, onions, red peppers, garlic, and shallots on hand. I pretty much have those in the house when everything's stocked and groceries had just come in the day before. So I put that all in a pan, sizzled up the veggies for a few minutes, and then added in the chicken breast, which I seasoned with a delicious Italian spice blend, some salt and pepper. And then so that all went into the pan, and it seared just enough to let the chicken brown. It's a very large pan, I don't know if you can tell, and it browned pretty quickly, like 5 minutes. And then I added in some of these ingredients. The artichoke spread was sent to me by this company called Enzo Table, and then I added in a little wine. Why not? I had just a little bit of this rosé left from our anniversary. I put in some chicken stock. It was that chicken bouillon, and then you see I put in some water to make it like a chicken stock. You could use regular chicken stock or broth. And see, here's that delicious, it's an artichoke lemon, but you could use any sort of artichoke marinade, artichokes in a jar. You could also use pesto for this if you wanted to make it yourself. There's different ways you could use any leftover sauces you have in this type of a chicken dish. And since there's all that liquid in there from the broth, the sauce just needs to be kind of pushed around a little bit so all of the flavors integrate. And look, now what's going to happen is like it's all going to kind of steam in there and simmer, so it just stays on the stove for a couple more minutes. I absolutely love capers in recipes, so added some of those in as well. And then it all gets covered with some tin foil. But you're going to see the first thing I do is I have this really cool internal thermometer that you stick in the food, and then it has a little cord that connects on the outside of my oven. So it goes in the oven, but I know exactly what temperature the food is, so I don't have to keep taking it out and keep checking if it's done cooking. So anyways, that went all into the oven, and I think it took like 15 or 20 minutes before the chicken was brought up to temperature. And during that time, I was able to throw together a little green salad, and I got started on the mac and cheese bites. Just want to say thank you to Toby's Dressing. They're a local Oregon company, and Toby's feta cheese dressing is so good. They send me their dressing to use sometimes. So thanks so much, guys. All right, so that went in the fridge till the chicken was done. So the chicken here, you'll see, is just kind of set on the stove, and I left it with foil on while I made the mac and cheese bites. So I made the mac and cheese bites in the air fryer, which I use a lot these days for really simple meals. There's a lot of new recipes on Sip Bite to Go that have air fryer as the cooking tool. So you can see those went in the air fryer, and then I wanted to just take a peek at that chicken, but I'm like, oh, that sauce looks so good. It's gonna look beautiful on the plate. I just knew it. You can see the little cord stuck in there from my thermometer. So anyways, I left that all covered up while I got to checking on a couple other things. So one other thing I wanted to do was make some little sandwich for my kiddo. So you're not going to believe what happened here, actually. So I had this leftover chicken patty that I air fried. I put the recipe for that on Sip Bite to Go. And this was left over, this little piece, so I wanted to pop it in. And it is actually really easy to air fry different foods together like this that, you know, they still have enough space around them to heat up. This is a good example. Tater tots would be too, but I opened it to check, and I was like, where is the top of that sandwich? And I couldn't find it, and so I looked up there, and I could see, oh, actually, like, the air fryer sucked it up to that coil. I don't know if it would have burned. I've never had this happen before, so it was kind of hard to get in there, but I had some metal tongs. It was like flying around in there, so I did not give that to my kiddo. He had an open face sandwich. Anyways, so the mac and cheese balls, I really like cooking in the air fryer. You could do fresh or frozen. They come out like super soft. I did leave them in there for a couple more minutes until they were like completely oozing out the mac and cheese. And my husband had made the pizza sauce recipe from Sip Bite To Go, and he had some leftover tomato paste from it. So I was like, oh, I don't have any of the pizza sauce left, but maybe I can make something with it. So I was like, maybe it'll work if I just kind of mash it around with some water. It actually did. I let it simmer a little bit, and it kind of turned into sauce. So anyways, I loaded that all up. You can see my delicious mac and cheese balls in the air fryer, just beautiful. They got that cheese going all over it. So this was really good. These are just such a tasty, easy side. I mean, if you're gonna kind of like put effort into making chicken or steak or something like that, I think it's nice to have something easy as a side for like just a weeknight meal or maybe a nice weekend dinner with the family. So those are my beautiful mac and cheese balls. Thank you, Whole Foods, for having these in your prepared section. You could also find them frozen. And then it is time to go ahead and plate that chicken now that the mac and cheese balls are done. So I had started with like about a pound of chicken, so it kind of had these different pieces in it. So I just plated it with some vegetable on top, a couple slices of lemon, and some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, which was so delicious. Yum. All right, and that is it. Let me just show you just kind of everything, how it all came together. So I have the salad there, just some red leaf lettuce and that Toby's dressing, these mac and cheese balls with my crazy tomato paste concoction that actually turned out okay, and my husband's dinner and my dinner, and that's it. It was so good to dig into these. I really like to like drizzle the lemon over the chicken again, even though there was some lemon in there because it was an artichoke and lemon dip. But thanks for joining this. I hope this inspired you to kind of cook up something easy. It was relatively healthy chicken dish. All right, well, until next time, I hope you have a great and wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. But first you have to look in this mac and cheese ball. Look how good that looks. All right, cheers.